calf branders.
Hank and the calf who?
Branders.
Calf branders. There they are contemplating whether the sound equipment is going to suffice for what they're going to try to project here tonight. Yeah, I'm the one talking here. Hi, welcome. My name's Nancy Sullivan. I work with Scotty. And this is my friend Julie. Hi.
Hi.
Introduce yourself.
Hi.
We've been on tape before. Hi, I'm Karen.
We've been
Out here. He's plugging his ears. He's worried about the bad sound of it.
Putting in his earplugs.
I'll be able to hear when I'm 80.
This would be a classical concert.
There's his earplug.
Much confused, I'd say.
I should have called a few more people.
I was hoping you guys would. Just get everybody.
Yeah, they wanted to.
Come on, Scott. You know what I want? I tell him outside the club.
It's a holiday night.
That's funny.
That's why I said, yeah, he's like, 12 off of work. I was like, let's go out tonight. You know, it's funny.
No, we are glad.
You know, it's like a Friday night. I said, but I have
It's
energy.
Friday night, but I'm not all dead.
That's what you said. On the way that you're going to say, I come home Friday nights. It's like, where do you want to go? I was like, I'm going to No.
No, you can talk. He usually does. He has a purple one. I have to get paid somehow.
Mighty fine, mighty fine. Thanks a lot there. Thanks a lot. We're going to change instruments now. The Flatlanders, we got Tony Rome, we got Recording Stars, Rumblecat Recording Stars, that is, Mustang Lightning, and of course we're the Calf Branders. And while I got a minute here, I'd like to introduce my brothers. Over here on the bass guitar, of course, we got my brother Daryl, and on the drums back here, we got my other brother Daryl, and I, of course, am Big Hank, and we're the Calf Branders. We were invited specifically to come and play for you all. We're all actually from Cope, Colorado, and this is the first time we've been to the big city, but we're going to try to play some countrified punk for you, and we're really excited about it. Isn't that right, Daryl?
All dang, brother.
So we're going to do the first song here. It's going to be one that kind of describes our band a little bit, and it's called The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly.
Now wait a minute there, Mr. Brother. How can a song describe a man?
Well, just kind of got to think in your mind, you know. The music kind of goes into your mind and describes the band, you know. That's how it kind of works.
You've been smoking that hippie weed again?
So you ready back there, Daryl?
Nope.
Should be all over.
Now, of course, we're not used to playing with all these kind of electronic instruments, of course, and so you're just going to have to kind of bear with us. Of course, sometimes we wonder if this guy over here running the board is an electronic instrument himself, but
Be a real long tape.
well, while I've got a minute here, I guess I'll tell you how we came about to be here. Mustang Lightning, of course, travels around quite a bit, and they came into our town there, Cope, Colorado, and they kind of came into where my wife Berna works, and she works, of course, at the Eat Cafe, and they said, well, gosh, you know, this is a kind of a good place to eat here. You guys got any musicians in this town? And of course she says, well, gosh, you know, my husband, he's Big Hank, you know, he's Big Hank of the Calf Branders, and they learned almost all the songs off the jukebox here at the Eat Cafe, and you know, they're pretty good. Of course, we were out branding calves at the time, and so we invited the Mustang Lightning boys out there, and they got pretty excited about branding them calves, and so after we branded them calves, of course, we ate a lot of them Rocky Mountain oysters, and ate a lot more of them Rocky Mountain oysters, and ate a lot more of them Rocky Mountain oysters. And then we drug out the instruments and kind of played some tunes for them. And of course, here we are. All right, so we're going to play the song despite what this bozo over here is trying to do. called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now we're going to do another tune here that we learned off the jukebox at the Oud Cafe. What's that there?
There's a lot more people here than we've ever played for, brother.
That's right. Look at all these lights. I've never seen so many.
Oh, dang.
All dang, that's right. Well, we're going to do a song now. We're going to do a song now that kind of describes again who we are. We want to get you people to kind of know who we are, the Calf Randers, of course, and this one called The Honky Tonk Man. You ready there, Daryl? All right, we're going to do an original here for you. We want to tell you about why it was written. Of course, we're going to write it about a calf because we're the Calf Branders, and this one's called the Buford's Last Ride. And of course, you city slickers, you don't know what a Buford is, but if you've been out on the rodeo circuit, if you're gonna capture a calf or go to a calf branding and you're going to get a calf, you know, that's not going to kick too much, well, you want to get a Buford calf because they're going to just lay there and they don't really care too much about what you do to them, you know. So anyway,
I don't think these people really care too much.
well, that's right. So we're going to do one now here called the Buford's Last Ride.
I don't think these people care too much.
Thank you.
course, that's where Johnny Stang from Mustang Lightning comes from. And all you people that just came in, you might want to know about how we got discovered. You know, them boys from Mustang Lightning come on in and they said, well, gosh, is there any musicians in this town? Of course, you already heard this story once, but we're going to tell it again because we want to give credit where credit's due, and of course that's due to Mustang Lightning, and they're going to be one of the bands that plays up here along with Tony Rome and the Flatlanders. And well, that's right. And we're going to do one more thing here before we go too much further. We of course were sponsored by Big Eddie's Ranch Supply, and he gave us $20 to give us gas money to get down here from Cope, and we cut him a commercial that's played on the local radio there, you know, and we thought you city slicker folks might enjoy it. So kind of here's how it kind of goes. Well, howdy, folks, howdy. This is Big Eddie from Big Eddie's Ranch Supply, and we got all kinds of ranch supplies and branding supplies down here, and we got a special going on this week for all you calf branders out there. We got the Big Eddie's nut cutters, and they're used especially, you know, for all kinds of castration stuff, and people, you know, here in the city, they kind of don't know if they really think that's necessary or not, but anyway, Big Eddie, we got them on sale $19.95, so. All right. Texas. Alright, we're going to do one now. It's one of our favorites, I hope it's one of yours. And it comes from a movie soundtrack called The Outlaw. Mighty fine, mighty fine. Thanks very much there. All right, we got a couple more songs here for you. This next one is called the Prairie Dog Boogie. And of course, they've been kind of controversial here lately. And we can't understand it, you know, coming from the country and all, because there's a statistic out there that you all ought to know is that there's like 4 prairie dogs for every man, woman, and child in Colorado. And we just don't know about. Yeah, it's a Galdang. That's right, Daryl. We just don't know why people are so concerned about them. You know, they're kind of like Miller moths. You know, they're just everywhere, and they kind of eat the grass and all that stuff. So anyway, we're going to do one now called the Prairie Dog Boogie, and it kind of goes something like this. Goes out to all them calves, and of course we got a lot of our Wild Thing friends down here along the stage with us. carried away, you know, when I hear that song. It kind of reminds me of my buddy Jim. All right, now. Well, after that, I'm going to play one out here called The Thunder. Stick around. We got a lot better bands coming up here. If you haven't already guessed it, this band was a real joke. So, you know, stick around and get some real good bands up here. We're going to get Tony Rome and Flatlanders and, of course, Mustang Lightning. So, thanks a lot there, folks.
Like a feeling that I had inside of me. Well, I guess it was like a burning desire.
A burning desire?
Yeah.
For what?
Like, yeah, like I was like roped and tied.
Go on.
It was like a hunk of burning love.